Taking the Long Way Home episode Tacoma Rima 15, featuring more of that bloody beautiful beauty, mountains upon mountains, narrow tracks, tree beds repurposed, tree friends, the saddles of Jack and Rose, a town of Queens, and yet again some other shiz.
I could be completely wrong, and I have been known to be completely incorrect in past a number of times. But this is the Motatapu track out from Wanaka when Shania Twain bought land here. And so this track had to be kept open to the public. And check it out, it's absolutely stunning. Been coming up this river. It really reminds me of walking toward Blue Lake up the West Sabine Branch River. And and 3 weeks approximately from completing Te Araroa. Bloody beautiful. Yet again, stunning beauty. In a nice 3-hour haul through this forest, 5 to 10 minutes away from being able to stop, get this bloody pack off my back. I have been busting for a dump. And it's not pleasant tramping while you're busting for a dump. And I didn't want to hike up into off the track and dig a hole. That's breaking dump news.
I used to love getting to the huts and checking out the art in the hut books.
Wanaka back that way. That's the valley I've just walked up this morning. The last probably 5 hours heading this way. Anyone know who Jack Hall was? Because I found his saddle. Here it is. It's here. He left it here. 1,275 metres above sea level. What were you doing up here, Jack? With your bloody saddle? You shouldn't bring your saddle up here. Should have brought a horse. Because then you could have your saddle on the horse. Jack, what were you thinking? Forward! I was the commander of the armies of Rohan. If you look carefully on that ridgeline, that spur just in front there, there's a track running right alongside, so I've got to descend right down that bloody gully. Check this stuff out. This is hard work. Stunning, majestic beauty. There we go. And on. This is Te Araroa. See you later, Wanaka. See you, Pete. See you, Jacques. And here's some kind of cryptic offering to the gods. Check that out. Pair of boots, got the crampons on, and diving goggles. Good in the snowstorm, I guess. What can it mean? Shit. They're mucking around, are they? I better get on with this camera away. Starting to have little feelings in an emotional sense around the moment now, because I'm kind of realizing that this is pretty much going to be the end of this. Like, I've got a little bit of stuff tomorrow, but then I go through to Queenstown and I see mountains and everything, but I'm not up in them. and then Glenorchy, and I'll be down into Southland, and I don't think, I'm going to have some hills obviously and forest and everything, but I don't think I have this.
Shall I take your hand?
Oh, thanks, mate. Yep. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, no, thank you. Come again.
When did you learn to speak?
Oh, quite some time ago, before you were born.
Oh. Shit. Just had a Lord of the Rings moment. I think he's part of Treebeard's gig. Must have been at Isengard. That's what, because in the rebirth thing, when I was gambling, when I found out I was gambling, leader of the armies of Rohan, I was at Isengard with Gandalf and Orlando, Vigo, Legolas, and Aragorn. Yeah, I think Pippin was there, and Gimli, and Éomer, and Theoden, and myself. We were on horseback. Oh, magnificent scene. Were they talking to me? Should I have answered?
There we go. I hereby name you after my daughter, Rose's Saddle. And I declare that you are 1,270 meters above sea level. That ought to do it. I haven't found one to name after my sons, Thomas and Joseph. There you go, Francesca. I decided not to call it Francesca's Saddle, but your name being Francesca Rose, I thought I'd call it after your middle name, because your middle name hardly ever gets any recognition. People tend to call you by your first name or derivatives thereof. And I thought, no, we gave you a middle name, and Rose it was. It's your saddle, sweetheart. You can come up and build a house if you want. All right, love you.
Wanaka. Like Wanaka. The hut from which I just walked down in there. So that must be Queenstown over there by those peaks, I would say. A digger. Not what you expect to see in this surround. The digger and the digger's support crew, I'm guessing. They call it the town of Queens. One queen, and it's the Queenstown, or is it multiple queens? There's a whole bunch of them. Not one issue that you need to lie awake at night pondering. That's the hill up there where I led our army in my previous life as gambling. King Theoden and I, and Hammer was with us initially, and then he got killed by a wag up there. We led our people from Edoras to Helm's Deep via the top of that mountain there, Kelvin Heights. Ah, the glory days.
What are you on about? Every day's a glory day if you so choose it to be. Aotearoa Wiki, next week, episode Te Araroa 16. The town of Queens to the early winter bog and marshes of Southland. After the freezing snow days of the Ahuriri, I was severely knackered by this stage. Yet again, I invite you to share this series, Taking the Long Way Home, with any peeps you feel may enjoy it. I send my love to all the folks of Lake Ohio lost their homes in the recent devastating fire, especially Hugh, Chris and Ray. Thank you, Free Music Archive and Panda Dub Into the Woods featuring Poussin.